Hi guys, welcome to my channel, and if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. Here on my channel I do all things fragrance. I love perfumes and fragrances. It's almost spring and I just can't wait to bring out my spring transitional fragrances. I have been itching to get to these fragrances. I am so tired of the heavy, woody, incensey fragrances from fall and winter. I can't wait for spring weather and bring out all of my beautiful springtime fragrances. I love florals, and don't think florals is just for females. Florals are beautiful on all genders, male, female, in between. Florals is a note that anybody can wear. So for my spring floral lineup, I have some designer and niche perfumes just for you. Are you looking for the lightness and the fruitiness of springtime fragrances, and long gone are the dense, the heavier, the cold weather fragrances? Then stay tuned. Before I begin, I want to share with you my scent of the day, and this here is Rose Extase by Ricci. One of the noses behind this fragrance is Mason Francis Kurkdjian, and a lot of people said this was the Delina before Delina even came out. Rose Extase was launched in 2017. It is one of the most beautiful rose fragrances that I have in my collection. I do believe it is now discontinued, but when this was available, I think I got this for maybe $25 on FragranceNet. And it has red berries, it has rose, it has raspberry, vanilla, it has musk and amberwood. I get so many compliments with this fragrance, and it lasts forever. I can spray it early in the morning and I still get remnants of it late at night. So this here is a all-time gem that I loved way before Delina came into my collection. So again, this is Rose Extase by Ricci. Alright guys, without further ado, let's get into our spring fragrances. First one on the list is Patiala by Thameen, and this here is in a beautiful blue sapphire bottle, and this here just brings a different type of ambery presence. I can wear this all year long, but I really love bringing this out in the springtime. The main flower in this fragrance is going to be rose, and in here you're going to get a soapy like feeling in the very top, and then in the dry down you're going to get a beautiful musk. This right here for me was love at first sniff. This was my first Thameen fragrance from the house, and I fell in love with this house just from Patiala. I love this fragrance. It has a beautiful, alluring sillage, and it lasts. The performance, I get about 8 hours from this fragrance. And so this here is our first spring lineup, and this is Patiala by Thameen. This next fragrance was on my wish list and I was able to get it, and I am in love with it, even though I've only had it for a short period of time. But this here is Solar Blossom by Mizensir. And this here has been compared to Love Don't Be Shy. I personally do not think that it smells like Love Don't Be Shy. And if it does to some, this is a more mature version of that orange blossom. The main flower for this fragrance is orange blossom. And as you may know, if you've been following my channel, orange blossom is my favorite flower. And as a matter of fact, I think I have 2 orange blossoms in this lineup. But this here is just a fluffy, fresh, creamy, it's just a fluffy, fresh, creamy orange blossom goodness. And I think the name is fitting. It is exactly what it says, a solar blossom. And I just think that this is just dreaming with a hint of sweetness. This is not going to give you a toothache like Love Don't Be Shy. Like I said, this is going to be for the mature individuals who love that sweetness, but not too sweet. I do smell the honey in here. It is not too much, it's just right. And this lasts on me for about 6 to 8 hours. Actually, I think it can go a little longer because right when I was getting ready to take a shower, this was still going real hard. I'm actually falling in love with the house Mizensir, and I really want to try others from this house. But this here is Solar Blossom by Mizensir, and it is a orange blossom dreamsicle. This next fragrance is a house that I love as well, and this one here is Join the Club 400 by Xeroff, and it's in another one of those beautiful blue bottles. And this fragrance here is just so enigmatic. It's different. It's hard to explain. Very androgynous. Everything on here, except for a few, are very unisex. But this is definitely unisex. And for me, what I get is the white tobacco, real slight. It's not too heavy. And I get vanilla, but the flower, the main dominant flower in this fragrance is going to be your Ylang Ylang. I think this fragrance is just so fresh with a unique substance. It's slightly dense from the honey, but it is something that is still fresh. I saw where a lot of people talked about wearing this for winter and fall. I don't know if my bottle just hasn't macerated yet, but this is just fresh. I would want to wear this in the spring, especially transitioning from the winter. But I love this because of the florals in here, and that honey just gives it the compound that it needs. I hear a lot of people compare this to Naxos, and unfortunately I don't have a bottle of Naxos. I have not put my nose on it, but it's intrigued me to try to get my nose on Naxos. But just based on what I've read, it's like descriptions are all over the place with this particular fragrance. But for me, and my opinion of it is that it is just a honey ylang ylang vanilla bomb. I think this is great for transitioning to spring. I don't think it's heavy. Well, my bottle is not heavy for winter, but maybe over time it will be. But this fragrance is great. And this is Join the Club JTC 400 by Xeroff. This next fragrance is also fairly new to me, and I added it mainly because it is something that lasts really well. It's getting warm here in Atlanta, and I have been pulling for things that are going to last from the cold weather in the morning going into the warmer weather by the afternoon. And this here is Grenada by Memo, and this is just a beautiful white floral. The main flower in this fragrance is jasmine. I think this is going to be for those who love like Sintra, Oriana, but not too sweet. It goes in the vein of those two fragrances. The pomegranate, the jasmine, the orange blossom, they're blended perfectly in here. I also think that the heliotropes give it a nice powderiness. It's not too powdery. I think that the magic is in the dry down, and it begins to smell like, you remember the candies, the Smarties candies? That's what this fragrance reminds me of. It reminds me of Smarties once it dries down. And this is just a warm and enchanting jasmine vanilla when you get this in the dry down. So again, this is Grenada by Memo Paris. I did not forget about you, wood lovers. Woodiness gives the springtime fragrance that depth that it needs. And in this collection, I did choose, and this here is Love Tuberose by Amouage. And this is going to be for those who like tuberose. You have to love tuberose to like this fragrance, and it is great for the cooler weather. I like wearing this when the weather is still kind of chill in the air. The nose behind this fragrance is one of my favorite perfumers, and that's Natalie Lorson. She makes the most beautiful scents, but here you're going to get the tuberose, you're going to get the whipped cream. It's just milky from the whipped cream, just very lactonic and dreamy. And the wood that I told you about is one of my favorites, and that's sandalwood. The sandalwood in here gives it that depth. Again, the dominant flower in this fragrance is going to be your tuberose. You can wear this in the cooler weather, and you can definitely use this as a transition fragrance going from fall to winter and winter to spring. I love this. I don't think I would necessarily bring this out in the summertime, but now is a perfect time to wear this, where you can enjoy that tuberose as well as the sandalwood that's in here. So this here is Love Tuberose by Amouage. This next fragrance is very refreshing and aromatic. I have mentioned this before on my channel, and it is one of my all-time favorites. I will always have this in my collection, and this here is Prive by Ormonde Jayne. I love this fragrance. This is your green fragrance with the basmati rice, pink pepper, gardenia. It has magnolia and jasmine. This is just a breath of fresh air. It takes you on a gorgeous olfactory journey, and it transitions throughout the whole day. I love this fragrance, and it's, to me, a unique olfactory art. This is art in a bottle. If you have not put your nose on this, I highly recommend that you get your nose on Prive by Ormonde Jayne, and you will not be disappointed. It is a very multifaceted fragrance, because you think you're smelling one thing and then it transitions into another. You get the citrus, the airiness from the florals, and it's floral without being too floral. The dominant floral in this fragrance is going to be that peachy osmanthus. Again, this here is Prive by Ormonde Jayne. This next fragrance gets some hate, some love. It's all over the place. Some people really don't like this because of the longevity, but I love it. I think this is sophistication. And this here is Mon Guerlain by Guerlain. And as you can see, I've been really putting a great dent in this fragrance, and I love this. This to me is going to be your best vanilla for spring. It's a light floral. It has jasmine, it has vanilla, but the dominant flower in here is your lavender. This is very unique because you don't see too many women fragrances that have lavender in it, but this is gorgeous. I love this for a spring evening. It is just warm and sophisticated to me. This will always be in my collection. I am debating on whether I want to try the Intense or just stick with the original. But this here is Mon Guerlain by Guerlain. This next fragrance makes me so happy. Each time I spray this, it changes my whole mood. And this here is Oriana by Parfums de Marly. You get the Parfums de Marly quality in this fragrance, and it is something that I love to wear in the springtime. It is very sweet. The dominant flower in this fragrance is going to be your orange blossom, and you're going to be mesmerized by the marshmallow. It's the marshmallow that I think makes me really happy when I wear this, and it's just creamy, and this is your gourmand for the warmer weather without being too sweet. If you're going to miss your winter gourmands, you can transition to this and still get your sweet tooth fix. Again, this here is Oriana by Parfums de Marly. This next fragrance is an OG. I had to have an OG for this lineup, and this here is Chloé by Chloé. And this is an everyday, fresh, floral. The main dominant flower in this fragrance is peony, and it is just fresh with some slight woodiness in here. It reminds me of a bouquet of flowers, primarily roses. It has the freesia in here. It is just so refreshing. I get so many compliments when I'm wearing this, and I don't smell too mature when I'm wearing it. So if you're thinking that this is something for only those who like mature fragrances, I want you to get your nose on it and just try it. She will convince you otherwise. Chloé de Parfum by Chloé. This next fragrance, you know, is part of my top 10. This is my favorite for life. I have backup bottles of the original formulation. I will always have this in my collection. And this here is Crystal Noir, the Parfum by Versace. This is your sensual, mysterious, fragrance. It has spice, it has darkness. It is something that I think could be a signature scent. This would be my signature scent if I did not have as many fragrances that I have. I would definitely make this my signature scent. It has a slight hint of coconut, ginger. You feel the tropicalness, and you get the warmth from the ginger, I believe, as well as the woodiness. This is a great transition from winter to spring. The main dominant flower in this fragrance is going to be gardenia, and I love this. I love this, and it will always be in my collection. I have the toilette as well as the parfum, and I wear them for different occasions. The toilette I mainly wear for daytime, and then I bring this out in the evening time or like special occasions. So once again, this here is Crystal Noir by Versace. This next fragrance is also an OG. I don't hear too many people talking about this anymore, but this here is Midnight Romance by Ralph Lauren. And this is going to be your soft floral scent. It combines with violet, jasmine. It has a beautiful musk that creates a romantic and delicate scent. I love wearing this for date night. This to me is very intimate and just brings a playfulness of joy. I think that the water lily and the violet just plays together so well, and you get a slight hint of ginger. The main dominant flower in here is the violet, and this is just gorgeous. I don't hear too many people talking about this, but this is just so sensual to me. And this is Midnight Romance by Ralph Lauren. This next fragrance is great for in-between weather, and I love it for that reason. And this here is Sweet Morphine by Ex Nihilo. And this is a luxurious, creamy floral scent. This scent is so bewitching to me and oddly tranquil at the same time. I think the name is fitting. It is slightly sweet, and it is so addictive. It has great projection, it has great longevity, and the main flower in here is going to be your mimosa. It's beautiful for right now where we're transitioning from winter to spring, and it is just, like I said, so tranquil to me. This here is Sweet Morphine by Ex Nihilo. This next fragrance is so uplifting to me, and it is a classic. And this here is Chant of Fresh by Chanel, and it is the one that is in the green bottle. And this is going to be a timeless classic that stands out for its freshness. You're going to get a breath of fresh air from the sparkling citrus as well as the teak wood. It's not too woody, but it is woody. And then in the dry down, you just get this clean refreshingness. And I love this fragrance. This can be worn by anyone, male or female. It's a toilette, but it performs just like a parfum. I get whiffs of this all through the day, all day long, and it is still going strong. It's not beast mode, but it is one of those fragrances where others will notice this on you. And again, this is Chant of Fresh by Chanel. This next fragrance is so captivating, and I love it for the purple flowers in here. And this is Pluriel by Maison Francis Kurkdjian. This is going to be your floral and airy springtime in a bottle. And it just screams quiet luxury. This is one of those fragrances that you have to wear this with a bright color. It does not go well with someone who's wearing maybe black. This is so fresh. It could be worn by men as well as women. And it is linear. It's very long lasting, especially if you spray this on clothes. The main dominant flower in here is going to be your lily of the valley. I think this is really gorgeous, especially for transitioning from winter to spring. And this is just going to be so captivating for you. And again, this here is Pluriel by Maison Francis Kurkdjian. This next fragrance is aquatic, it's airy, it's clean, and I love this for the muskiness. I'll put a picture of it in the corner here, but this is Yin Transformation by the Harmonist. And this is a floral woody musk. This fragrance finds harmony with the contrasting woodiness from the sandalwood. I love the almond milk. I like the ylang ylang as well as the iris. The iris is the main dominant floral in this fragrance, and it is just a balancing act. It's great for daytime wear, and it just gives that lotiony quality, like you just lotioned your whole body. And it's just effortless and calming. This is one of those fragrances where you don't have to put too much thought in it, and it lasts on me for about 6 to 8 hours. Again, this is Yin Transformation by the Harmonist. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this lineup. If this is the type of content that you're looking for, please don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you'll be notified each time I upload a video. I really want to say thank you for those who've been supporting me. You are helping making my channel to grow, and I am so indebted and grateful for you. I want to wish everyone a beautiful spring, and I hope that you get that soon in the state that you're in. We are already in spring mode here in Atlanta, and so these beautiful gems are going to be one of my number one picks for spring transition. Let me know in the comments what are some of your spring transition fragrances. And also let me know if any of these are ones that you've tried and if you like them. Alright guys, thank you for dropping by. See you later.